Welcome to the Trend Talk. We are your hosts, Marabina, Jaimes, and Belle Hernandez. Today on our trending travel segments, we are going to visit Los Angeles' Little Tokyo. And then Belle interviews actress Monica Raymund. Some of you may know her from Chicago Fire, which she was on for 8 years, and she's currently starring in the new hit show, Hightown.
Marabina, did you know that Little Tokyo is just adjacent to downtown Los Angeles and is only 3 minutes away from the birthplace of Los Angeles, Olvera Street? These areas represent the two largest ethnic communities in Los Angeles. Latinos are the largest part of the LA population with 49%, and 97% of that being of Mexican descent. The Asian population is 15%, with Los Angeles having the highest number of Japanese residents among cities outside of Japan.
Los Angeles is a wonderful melting pot of cultures. Did you know that in Los Angeles, mixed ethnic couples are pretty much the norm? In the West, overall, 1 in 5 newlyweds, that's 22%, marry someone of a different race or ethnicity. And these numbers are between 2008 and 2010, far above the norm in other regions.
Yes, and you know, we all have friends that are intermarried with two cultures. Like, for instance, a Puerto Rican married to a Korean, or Mexicans married to Asians. Such a beautiful kaleidoscope of cultures.
It really is. And Belle, you know, at this point, I think that we're all so mixed, it's time to just start working together instead of continuing to point out so many differences, don't you think? I really like that in advertising, we're starting to see so much of a mix. It's more representative of how the world is, all these different cultures.
You know, people from different countries all over the world are at home and they're embracing diversity, and it's turning out to be a wonderful community across the world of melting pots, and in LA, of course. And you know, different cultures, different ideas, and they all come together to make a more beautiful community.
Mix.
Yes, of course. So how does that affect our cultural traditions? You know, do we keep them? Do we adopt others' cultural norms? Or how do we make that into a positive?
Well, I have to tell you about, that's a great question. And I want to say I'm really glad that on the Trend Talk we've had a chance to interview so many different Latino creatives who are succeeding in the US by adapting, incorporating what works, and also letting go of some of the things that hold us back. You know, one person, Elaine Del Valle, who we interviewed, who wrote Brownsville Bread, which she's turning into a movie, of course. You know, but that's her story of a young girl being Puerto Rican and, you know, really Americanized as well, and how her Puerto Rican upbringing is part of the American scene as well. I mean, what I say is, hold on to your roots, but also don't be afraid to grow some wings.
Well, amen to that. But let's get ready for a wonderful show. We have a visit to one of my favorite neighborhoods, Little Tokyo. But you know, when we went to Little Tokyo, talk about mixing cultures, there is a Puerto Rican restaurant right in the heart of Little Tokyo.
Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. Now don't go away, we'll be right back with that segment.
Refréscate con la original Bravo Cola Champán. Sabor único, siempre contigo.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Trend Talk Travels takes us to one of the city's oldest and beloved neighborhoods, Little Tokyo. This vibrant cultural destination for both LA natives and tourists alike was founded over 135 years ago, and it is one of 3 certified Japan towns in the nation.
This Los Angeles neighborhood has survived the Depression of 1929 and the unfortunate incarceration of over 120,000 Japanese Americans, many of them shop owners.
I zoom by Little Tokyo every time I'm on my way to downtown LA. But I have never taken the time to look at the sidewalk markers of the original stores throughout the years of all these businesses and organizations who provide the historical foundation for the largest and fastest growing Japanese community in LA. The Japanese Village Plaza was built in 1978. Here you can find Japanese-themed shops, an array of delicious, authentic Japanese food, from sushi to freshly cut ramen.
Indeed. At the entrance of the Japanese Village Plaza is a traditional watchtower. This is a replica of towers found in rural Japan as fire lookout towers. Communities in Japan also use these towers to identify their towns.
Let's go
inside. Yeah.
And here is one of my favorite restaurants in Little Tokyo, Suhiro's Cafe. I remember performing at the Los Angeles Theater Center, which is right down the street, and all the cast, all from different theaters, would come here after the shows and sit around and talk about the play and always commiserate while we were having chicken teriyaki, tempura vegetables, and udon noodles. The conversation was always inspiring.
And Little Tokyo is becoming a wonderfully surprising fusion of cultures. The new kid on this Japanese block is Puerto Rican. The Roomba Kitchen features all the classics, mofongo, tostones, and alcapurrias, and to keep it festive, a coquito to toast with. There are very few Puerto Rican restaurants in Los Angeles, so our hats off to chefs Omaida and George Dukis, who outgrew their popular triple threat food truck and brought us the Roomba Kitchen. Wepa!
So we're here with Omaida Dukis. She is the chef of a Roomba Kitchen. And this is amazing. They are in the heart of Little Tokyo, and we were just had some of your food. It is amazing. So you used to have a food truck, a very famous food truck, and you decided to get into the restaurant business. Why?
Yes, we still have the food truck. It's currently operating maybe half the week. We decided to open up Roomba Kitchen just because we kept getting asked, you know, when's the restaurant coming? They wanted a different vibe. They wanted to see what else we had to offer. And we wanted to create like a Puerto Rican oasis in LA.
And that's what you have. If you looked around the restaurant, it is a Puerto Rican oasis. Thank you for bringing this to downtown. It's close to where I live, and I loved your food. So we will be back, and you guys should come and visit as well.
We're standing in front of the memorial to astronaut Alison Onizuka, the first Asian American to make it to space. Unfortunately, we lost him and 6 of his crew members in the Space Challenger, but his legacy lives on.
If you step steps away is the Japanese American National Museum, incorporated in 1985 through the combined efforts of a band of Japanese American World War II veterans and a group of Little Tokyo businessmen.
The Japanese American National Museum was founded to preserve and share the history of Japanese Americans. Its mission evolved to enhance appreciation for America's ethnic and cultural diversity. By documenting the stories of Americans of Japanese ancestry as an integral component of U.S. history.
And Marabina, I bet you have never heard of the James Irving Gardens.
No, I don't think I have.
Well, let's go find out.
It is literally a hidden gem. Not accessible from the street, it's tucked between buildings and stores. It's known as the Garden of the Clear Stream and features 170 cascading waterfalls. The garden was designed by Takeo Usuji and funded in large part by a grant from James Irving, hence the name. Inspired by Zen traditions of the prominent gardens of Kyoto, it has been awarded with the National Landscape Award.
There's no better way to spend a Sunday afternoon than here in Little Tokyo.
That's right, salud! Don't go away, we'll be right back with our special guest.
This holiday season, visit our online retail store, limonadala.com, to get unique gifts from shirts, jewelry, tote bags, wall art, masks, and more. We have something for everyone. And now until the end of the year, everything is 10% off. Just use code YEAREND2020. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at limonadala to get updates on our products. Happy holidays, everyone.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hi, Monica. So good to meet you. I followed your career, and it's amazing to see that you are now in a different city. You were in Chicago for a long time, what, about 7 years? And so tell us, the switch from the city, you're going from a big urban city to Cape Cod. So how is that dynamic, and how does Cape Cod play a character in Hightown?
Yeah, well, just like Chicago played such a big character in Chicago Fire, you know, it's its own living and breathing place. And just like that, I think Cape Cod and Hightown, it's such a specific place to be. Like the air is different. You're on the water. What's so cool about Cape Cod is that there's a couple of different faces of it.
You look tired.
I didn't sleep well.
Are you still having nightmares about Renee?
Frankie's been out of prison a month and a half, and we haven't done shit. I just want to make things right.
In the summertime, it's full of tourists. And in Provincetown, where my show takes place in the season 1, it's vibrant and eclectic and colorful and energetic, and it's fun. It's this sense of carnival. And then in season 2, we're in Provincetown and Cape Cod in the off season. So it's fall, it's winter, it's a little darker and shrouded in mystery. And there's something equally magnetic and romantic about that. So absolutely, Cape Cod has its own character, and she shows different sides of herself depending on the time of year and depending on who's in her room.
Right. And it is a city that, well, Cape Cod, and now you're in Provincetown as well, but even those areas, you're not talking of, like I said, an urban city. And the issue of opioids, you know, having permeated into these little towns, it's quite a shock. So in season 2, are we going to see you making some gains or some triumphs in having to deal with this disease?
Yeah. I mean, in season 2, we start off with her having, I think, 30, 40, 50 days sober. She has some time under her belt. She starts from a place of lightness and clarity, and then she's starting to find her purpose and filling the void that we were watching in season 1 that she was trying to fill. She now has, I think she's found her stride at the top of season 2. And so that's a very refreshing take. It's like a fresh bite at the top of season 2, seeing Jackie sort of get it together. She's winning the game. She wants to become a police officer part-time. She does. She's still a National Fishery Service liaison. So she gets to work in both fields. And we're really seeing like this success story come to fruition.
You're seeing her growth.
You're seeing her growth. You're seeing her find herself as a woman in the world. And then now all of a sudden the case becomes more complicated. Ray no longer is working there. We meet her father. Her father gets into the picture. What happens with that dynamic? So now all of a sudden you're seeing, in season 1, you saw Jackie not sober, dealing with that as the challenge. Now season 2, you're seeing her, she starts out sober and with it together, but just because she's sober doesn't mean that life stops. The challenges are still hard. And
maybe even harder, because now you're having to deal with not slipping back in.
Exactly. Now she has to face her discomfort and face the pain. And how do you sit through that?
You know, one of the things that I really love about the series is the reflection of society as we know it today. It is such a mix of ethnicities and sexual preferences. And how do you think that a show like this that actually looks like society and deals with these hard issues, how do you think that can have an impact on the audience, whether to understand where we are as a society or to accept? How do you think that factors in?
When I was growing up, I didn't see a lot of women who looked like me. I didn't see a lot of people who looked like me on TV. I didn't know that it was really a true possibility for me to have a career in TV. When I graduated school in 2008, I think there was like, Ugly Betty was on, and like Desperate Housewives. There was like 2 shows that had an interesting, people of color, Latinx flavor to it. So I just didn't know that there was an opportunity. But now that the culture is changing, for me to be able to represent myself and my community, I'm part of the LGBTQ community, as well as Latina, obviously. So to be able to represent myself and showing that there is space being created for everyone, it's one of the greatest honors of my life. And I think it's so important that these stories are being told so that people who are watching can say, oh, hey, they're like me. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can be successful. Maybe I can chase my dreams. Because so much of it is about representation to inspire us to take action.
We need to find out where it's coming from. And we need to shut it down.
Put me in, coach.
The shit's about to get real.
I want to ask you about your directing an episode. I always find it interesting when actors have to direct and act. And are you doing both? And how hard is that?
I've been directing TV for a few years now, and I have a lot of shows under my belt so far, but it was the first time that I've ever directed myself and being in it while I'm directing. It's very, very challenging because it's 2 different parts of the brain. I really believe that. Acting is from a much more visceral, empirical place, very much lives in the body.
Here I come.
I'm the cop, Bray.
And directing, you have to have creative instincts and you have to sort of feel with your heart, but there's a huge logical component to it because you're taking care of the entirety of the project. And you're working and collaborating with just a higher number of people, just of more people. So when I'm in it, I have to be the actor. I also have to like prepare for the role, while at the same time, I have to make sure that I know everything that's happening in the episode, everyone else's intention. I got to make sure the right props are there. I got to make sure that the production design's correct. And I got to, like there's a lot of balls in the air. So it was the most challenging thing I've ever put myself through. And I think there's room for growth.
Why do you have to be the one to go after it?
I don't know. I just do.
Just listening to it, it's like, okay, I couldn't even go there. But
it's a lot. It's a lot.
But thank you so much. Thank you for speaking with us. We'll be watching, and congratulations on your season 2.
Thank you very much, Belle.
Bye-bye.
Este verano refréscate con la original Bravo Cola Champán. Sabor único, siempre contigo.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Our Trend Talk Trendsetter shout out goes to the Latina Golfers Association that empowers women by teaching them how to use golf as a tool for personal and professional development. Founder Azucena Maldonado understands that many business relationships and deals begin on the golf course, and she wanted to invite Latinas into the clubhouse.
There's so much opportunity that you can find, not only to enhance your personal life, but your professional life. We do events at golf courses that combine the social aspect of what we know with golf. I get texts and emails all the time. If it had not been for Latina Golfers Association or for you, I wouldn't be playing in this charity golf tournament. I wouldn't be playing with my CEO, with my manager. I wouldn't be able to take my clients to go play. To see how their professional lives have been enhanced and transformed and their personal lives have, it's just so heartwarming, and that really is what keeps me coming back.
Most corporations and businesses have golf tournaments with clients and friends that create opportunities, and added to all that, golf is just fun. As Ms. Maldonado likes to say, we're breaking the glass ceiling with a golf ball. For more information on golf lessons, golf outings, or to join this national organization, visit their website at latinagolfers.com.
And I am happy to say that I have joined the Latino Golfers Association. It is so much fun. You meet so many people, and just like Marabina says, it's a wonderful organization to meet new clients and all. We want to thank our guest, Monica Raymund, and you for tuning in to the Trend Talk. Remember to tune in on Sundays on the local LA Me TV station for our new episodes.
Or to see our past episodes, go to our YouTube channel, Instagram, or catch us on Facebook Watch.
And remember, if it's trending,
we're talking.
Llenos de algarabía. Ya llegó el carnaval, mucha gente nos visita. Desde lejos y contentos van llegando los turistas. Con el agua no juguemos, demostremos la cultura. Con mi gente tan alegre, festejemos en su Cuba.
This holiday season, visit our online retail store, limonadala.com, to get unique gifts from shirts, jewelry, tote bags, wall art, masks, and more. We have something for everyone. And now until the end of the year, everything is 10% off. Just use code YEAREND2020. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at limonadala to get updates on our products. Happy holidays, everyone.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.